players rather. The players are so damn loud. But of course, they do have a lot on the line, and now they're singing, and now there's silence.
Yeah.
So
first they dance, now they make their own song. This is fantastic.
it's perfect. It's perfect, right? You couldn't read a better script. But of course, the script could only get better for Nora-Rengo by defeating Cloud9 right now. If they fall out here, it will be utterly disappointing. Like Jordan was alluding to, this seems to mean a lot more to Nora-Rengo being in their hometown for the global Pro League finals.
And these bands, look, Nora with the Thatcher band, they're sticking that. It seems to have been helping them a lot. It helped them so much on Clubhouse. So sticking with that. Jackal band, it's going to restrict some of the roaming from C9. So not too bad. And the Mirror Echo, some would say they're kind of standard bands these days.
It hurts. It hurts. You know, we were saying what could possibly be done to see them not banned out so much, to see the defensive bands kind of swing a little bit more. And we're not really thinking that deep, let's be honest. But it is very common to see these two. Cafe is where we head. Bar and cocktail on that third floor is where we start. So defensive side bringing soft, hard breaches, all sorts. Doubling up on the hard breach, so it seems, from Nova. No 6 pick for the Nora-Rengo squad, though.
Very common to go with this bomb site first up, and I have to think that the rationale behind bringing the Maverick just for that extra hard breach is it can be a little bit difficult sometimes to open piano wall. Right? So the wall that you really want to get open on this bomb site is this piano wall over near the freezer. It really opens up that whole section, usually gives you a long angle over towards cocktail as well, and that is the wall that will cut sight for you to allow you to get a plant down. So I think what they're doing here is they're bringing the thermite so they can get the red stairs wall open, so they can get the control of piano, and they just want to secure themselves with this Maverick to make sure they can get that wall open. Even if it's a line of sight, it's still super important. So I expect to see C9 try that. Nora-Rengo though, I feel like they're going to bring some aggression here, Manic.
Well, that's the thing, right? We saw Nora-Rengo before. They were not shy at all in taking the fight to Cloud9. A lot of the times we were seeing the early engagements. So it's all on the line here for both of these squads. Cloud9, who represent Korea more often than not, and Nora-Rengo, who pretty much always represent Japan, or have done in the past. Is it going to continue? This is where answers, rather questions are answered. And we can start to build a bit more of a storyline for what is to come. But for now, Nora-Rengo bolstered down with that double D.
So far, a very standard attack coming out of C9. They've opened the hatches. Nora-Rengo is still making work on bomb site, but so far not a whole lot of engagements made. Just getting their intel, getting a lot of intel here from MV Taylor on the IQ. He's just going across that wall near the windows, just scanning out all that intel, figuring it out, because again, it looks like they're really emphasizing taking piano, which is very much the standard for Cafe. MV Taylor will find a frag from the windows, and that is Marvi on the Jaeger. So good opening frag there. Still half the round to play out, so Nora-Rengo can bring this back.
A lot of comms coming through. It's one of the massive advantages of being able to hold these Pro League lands at the ESL studios in Sydney. We can hear obviously a lot that's going on between these two teams. It's just a sound barrier of noise coming through, but Papilia will be able to take down Cat Sang, making their way through to Cigar Balcony, but unfortunately won't survive. Nova making short work with Mario as well.
Yeah, well, the Valkyrie is definitely a player they're going to have to worry about. Yoshigo will pick out, though, and now he's taken out, so don't need to worry about him anymore. 4v2, 1 minute to go, and they're starting to make some progress towards side here. This is really good time management from C9. They will find Racial in the freezer. 4v1, all up to the Maestro. If there's an operator that could get a 4v1 clutch on defense, it is going to be the Maestro.
It has to be, right? We've got to feel it come through. He might be given the first free kill as they swing around, but it's not free at all. Taken quite low, drops the diffuser as well. Is this a small amount of belief starting to come through for the Nora-Rengo squad? Papilia, who we know is an absolute animal by all rights, has come around from behind, taken down Nova as well. The crosshair was perfect. Oh my God! Papilia comes through, absolutely clutch.
That is the 1v4 clutch from Papilia, securing an ace for the round. And C9, they had that in their hands. That round was there to win, and it fell away.
I'm still kind of lost for words. I really didn't expect that to happen, especially after that first engagement, dropping so low for that initial fight. Here it is. That's where I thought it was all over, but the second they push through, they don't realize how open, in fact, the entire area of Cocktail is. And Papilia, with the perfect rotate, the 200 IQ play, and the repeak as well on the heady. My word.
Yep, my word indeed. Papilia, strong clutch from him, securing that first round for Nora-Rengo on the Cocktail bomb site. So now they will go down to the reading bomb site. Yes, it is the reading bomb site. So I think C9 in that round, they did everything right. Until it came down to getting that plant down, I think it became a little bit disjointed. We had that player rappel in through onto that balcony, through that balcony window, and just solid picked the Maestro. And then the plant went down in an open gap, with the other two just completely not in effect. So I think C9 really just had to slow down. They had a lot of time. If they slowed down and they really pushed down that white hallway and surrounded the player in Cocktail, which they seemed to know that's where he was, I think that round would have played out very differently. But not to be.
No. You'll definitely be kicking yourself after that. That is, that hurts. That's going to echo, I feel. So into reading dining. And realistically, Cloud9 at the moment, oh no, that didn't just happen.
Too close.
That's not it. Chief. So the engagements, however, for Cloud9, they will be taking their time, looking like they'll be approaching that third floor. I don't think you can't really ignore that at all. A lot of the times we do see the defensive side roaming quite heavily. A lot of the flooring gives you the options to just go straight through, so it is mighty important, it's vitally important for Cloud9 at this point to take their time and be diligent with it.
I agree, but I think it's also really important they don't lose confidence they had in the first half of that first round. Again, that round was really well played from Cloud9 just until Papilia went nuts. So I think so far they've lost a bit of pace here, and I think that was something that worked out really well for them in that first round. So they need to start pushing, they need to start getting some map control. These roamers upstairs will absolutely stop them from being able to get to the bomb site. Are seeing a couple of C9 players in piano here, so they will start pushing across, but there is half the round played out, so time is starting to tick away.
Papilia just doing Papilia things. Saw how frustrating he was on the Maestro earlier on Bank, so just consistently being a pain in the backside. Cat saying now with the frag grenade over the top, does take away the bandits. Heading for the contact though. Papilia's holding pretty strong right now and happy to take these engagements. Drops low, not dead yet. Somehow finds the kill on the heady and they go for the repeak as well. Cat saying no, will be obliterated by the C4. And a 3 versus 4. The noise is being made from Nova, trying to find a little bit more space for the remainder of Cloud9, but they've committed quite heavily the shotgun up front. That should surely be the kill if he comes over the top. No, ooh, the peak works in favor of Nova. And things start to crumble a little bit for Nova here. Nora, rather.
Yeah, look, 3v3, 45 seconds to go. C9, the onus of time is still on them, obviously. They really need to get a move on to get things happening on site. Marvi is still off site completely. He could take the retake if they try to plant dining, and he can try and flank reading if that's where they choose to plant. Doesn't look like they are going to hold that VIP stairs flank, so you know, this could get really hectic. 20 seconds, they're going to have to push through.
That's it. An explosion of swords. Heady finds first contact. In fact, it's Mario. Finds the opening kill, but Sweet Black is on the site. And just to shut down Marvi. Back into a 2 versus 2. Baits out the push. Ooh. That could have been huge. I don't know if Envy Taylor's got enough in it. No, there's not enough left in the tank. And there is going to be another round in hands of Nora.
Yeah, I think time really just got away from C9 there. They just didn't have enough time in their pocket to be able to pull anything out that wasn't predictable. I think Nora read that perfectly. They had the two people flank around, ready to shoot through that pillar's doorway, because they knew that's where they were coming from. So, well played from Nora-Rengo, good defense there. And look, C9 have looked all right, but Nora-Rengo really still stepping up.
It's just the small details that really play effect in this. Cloud9 being caught in the engagement upstairs. Fortunately enough, you know, Nova does find that second kill. But a lot invested there. Dostoyevsky for the 6th pick of IQ. And the third round here, Nora are looking incredibly confident. I think maybe, I don't want to say it, but that first round will definitely play in the back of the mind of Cloud9.
Yeah, they definitely have to not let that round affect them. We talked about it in that last map about dropping rounds and not letting that affect future rounds. So C9, they just need to come back. They looked like they lacked a little more confidence in that last round, which is a bit of a concern, but they will be attacking Kitchen now, which is the third bomb site that Nora-Rengo have chosen to defend, and it's not too bad of a bomb site. Some people actually even prefer this bomb site. I've seen it picked first by a couple of teams that feel confident on it. One really strong strat is to bring a castle, and you can castle off that bus stop window and doorway, and it's a really strong position to play behind that bakery stand, or the muffin stand I think it's called. With Jaeger, with ADSs, that can be really hard to flush out, so that's not actually happening here. It looks like Nora-Rengo are going to play a very loose kind of defense for this. They've got one person playing top floor, and they've got two people playing at the back of the site, just around it, so they can't really rush through the rear. So C9 will have to try and clear these roamers if they want to try and get a bit more of map control. They can't just push straight through the bakery, for example.
Shingo's taking a bit of damage, so not only the Vigil's position known, but also the damage might inflict a little bit of the play style. Envy Taylor, though, going down early. That is the gridlock. Tracksting is gone. I didn't hear them come out either, so next to little use, if none.
Yeah, big pick for Nora-Rengo there, which means that also the smoke utility can't be used by Envy Taylor on gridlock, so it's more emphasis on having secure control for the execute, because they now can't rely on things like those track stingers or the smoke grenades. Shingo is just going to sit and read a book. He's just going to patiently wait for them to push near him.
Cigar and a whiskey, right?
Perfect map for it. That's the cigar shop just upstairs.
That's it. You can go and get it. Sit down, relax, kick back, because right now there is absolutely no need for you, Shingo, to realistically make any moves. Cloud9 are only just starting to clear out that second floor, and Yoshingo's making good movement here. Good rotates back around, so they're keeping him confused, keeping them, you know, wasting all of this time with Hetty trying to find him. His job is virtually done at this point. Look at how much Cloud9 are investing.
Yeah, they lost track of him completely, and he's wreaking havoc. He's finally taken out by that IQ, but the damage is done. He took off the Zofia as well. As another strong utility-based operator, or strong fragger. So Cloud9, less than a minute to go. They're going to have a lot of difficulty getting stuff done here. Those walls aren't going to be able to be opened because no Thatcher, and they're also lacking a lot of utility. Maybe the Buck can help out with frag grenades, but it's going to be a final push onto site again with low time. We talked about the lack of time left for them, and that's definitely about to play a factor here.
Well, there are a lot of teams in the region where, you know, we may be favor for those late round plays, but Cloud9 right now haven't proven themselves to be one of those teams. Apelia with a prepared C4, throws out, doesn't actually catch the backside of one of the members starting to push in, but time is running very thin. 15 seconds for Cloud9 to make their move in, and Nora-Rengo, they are completely bolstered down. All Mero will be able to be taken down by Nova. Now it's all about the execute. They walk directly into the line. They do find the trades, and it's all up to, well, actually, it's up to one more member. Sweet Black might be able to stick this here. I don't know whether they've got the opportunity to deny it, and Sweet Black might just get it down in time, but surely Racial, he wins this from here, but very close. Okay. Well, go for it. Oh, jeez, that's salt. That is so salty, Racial. BM if I've ever seen it.
Close round in the end, so, you know, they somehow managed to pull off that execute, and they got the plant down. It was very, very close, but Nora-Rengo is still too strong. closed out that round, and that's 3 in a row for Nora. So they've swept through bomb sites again. We saw a very similar pattern in Clubhouse.
Yep.
They're going to go back to their favored bomb site on top floor.
Once again, Cloud9 are forced back into a corner. Attack pause will be called for them. And again, we've just, you know, at what point is being battered too much, right? When does the motivation just start to dip?
Yeah, and man, the energy from Nora-Rengo right now is insane. They are making so much noise, and it's not even their tactical timeout, but they're keeping energized. And you know what I think C9 really need to do? When they had that hectic execute at the end, they were winning gunfights. They actually worked out all right. I think they just need to bring that a bit earlier. I think they're just letting Nora-Rengo bring the aggression to them. They're letting Nora-Rengo play this game, and C9 are just kind of passengers. I think C9 need to take it back in their control. They need to say, you know what, we're not scared anymore. We need to push back.
Well, they definitely played the vigil almost perfectly there. I mean, he got caught out at the very start of the round, got dropped to half HP, still managed to waste, what, a minute? I think it was like a minute 40 by the time they were able to clear him from 3rd floor to 2nd floor. Not only that, he took someone with him at half HP. So just the little details that are coming through right now, and then the second they collapse, it's just trades that work efficiently for Nora. Like you're saying, the time is not there to even fake the defuse being put down, so what do you make for an option there? We head back onto the top floor, of course. I highly doubt we were going to see reading and mining, but
Defenders, protect your bombs.
Who knows? There could be some wild things Nora have got up their sleeve.
Yeah, it's viable. A lot of teams play that as their second bomb site, so it definitely could have been an option, but a bit unlikely seeing as this was available. They're sticking with a similar lineup, and I think C9 should take it in their stride that they had this round when they played this, right? Papilia pulled out that 1v4 clutch, and definitely C9 made some mistakes as we talked about before, so C9 can fix that. They should really not be too scared about attacking this. It actually wasn't that bad last time.
10 seconds left before
Still plenty of time. I think that, you know, Cloud9, right now, you just don't want to get in your own head, right? You're 3-0 down. You're looking at a very similar fashion to what we saw in the second map there from Nora-Rengo on their defensive side. At the same time, you know, if you start to, you know, let that affect you, sorry, but half of this game can be quite a mental battle. So not letting any of this get to you is incredibly crucial for Nora. I would hate to say this, but they are on Cloud9. They are very relaxed in every sense of the word.
Very much on Cloud9 in almost every sense of how you say it. So Cloud9 need to reposition that. They need to get back on top, and here we go. They're starting to open some hatches and make some progress here. They're going to have to try and get some early picks. I think early picks will really help them to finish off these attacks. They don't want to be behind at any stage. I think that's what really stalls them out. So I like that they've brought the Ash. I think they need to utilize that Ash to the absolute Ash potential.
To actually allow Nova to frag freely. That would be incredibly vital at this point.
Go off, son. Go off.
Yeah, it feels like Nova hasn't had the greatest of impacts. Obviously, you know, most of the time we do look maybe as more of a support. But I think that it's due time for this to start to work. There we go.
Yeah,
Envy Taylor now giving a good option. That's Nora-Rengo down. However, oh, what a read from Envy there.
That's a great start. We talked about getting the opening picks. Half the round play now. They've got the opening 2, but they haven't droned this position very well. He does take 1, but it's refragged. Marvi also finds 1, so now 3v2. But you know what? Papilia's still up with this Maestro, and he's still playing Cocktail.
I know, this is dangerous. I'm having flashbacks right now. Cloud9 with a good start to the round. However, that quickly fizzled into anything but, so you don't, again, don't want to give it too much thought. Papilia still alive. A minute left on the clock, Raven. Cloud9 doing their due diligence, ensuring the drone, ensuring that there's no cheeky angles, but this is a cheeky angle from Papilia!
What a shot.
That's a tap on the head. Nice haircut to be given to Heady.
Yeah, that's going to leave 2v2 now, 45 seconds to go. C9 just have to work together and figure out exactly where these players are. They keep losing track of them, and that seems to be the issue. They've lost track of where these players are playing, and they just keep getting surprised. 30 seconds now. Default cam is still up, so if they push around that pillar, the defense are going to know. So this is a big issue. They're going to have to work together to flush out these positions.
This might be something for Nova. Rather for Sweet Black, sorry. Cloud9 now getting that wall open. You said that's so crucial before. Marby, however, in a perfect position to deny all of this unless they check him. Papilia's taken all the attention away from Sweet Black. Diffuser down. Envy Taylor walks directly into the crossfire. And Nora-Rengo, it just seems too simple.
5v3 with a minute 30 to go, and we see two of those three players for Nora-Rengo clutch it out again. Nora just reading straight into C9, and it really looks like C9 potentially lacking some intel. They just constantly lost track of where the position of these players were. I think that really shows that they're lacking confidence. They're getting the intel, but they're just not filling the space quick enough, and it allows Nora to move around too much.
Something that you want to try to limit as much as possible. Envy Taylor, nicely positioned in that sense, and oh god. Nearly picks up the second there from Mario, so Papilia has just been so dominant this entire series. I mean, if you're Cloud9, how do you even stop that? How do you stop Papilia being Papilia?
They just need to work together. Like, we talked about it in that first round with that clutch that Papilia got. They kind of just gave Papilia that opportunity. You can't give a player like Papilia opportunities to perform like this. And I think C9 just need to carry this confidence through an entire round. They started so good in that last round. They got the 2 opening picks, but again, they just didn't quite close it out. They hesitated. Nora-Rengo were able to reposition. And again, you can't let players like Papilia freely rotate in position like that. His position could have been easily shut down from a skylight, for example. So C9 just have to think a bit more thoroughly before they really get to this execute. And also, they need to give themselves a bit more time.
You think the due diligence just not there for Cloud9 right now? It looks like we're... No, we do have to ask the questions, Raven. That is our job, is to ask the questions. Maybe not necessarily always have the answers, but definitely questions have to be asked for Cloud9 right now. It's been a little bit disappointing.
Especially after that first map.
Yeah, right. We were so confident after watching Bank that there was going to be an opportunity for them to actually take this and cause, I mean, I don't want to say upset, but it was an upset earlier with Aerowolf and Fnatic, and now with Cloud9, it was looking possible, but Nora-Rengo is not interested in that in any way.
Bomb located by attackers.
Yeah, and Cloud9 have performed well on this map in the past. As we said, they had a close game with Wildcard, was then August,
yes.
at the Raleigh qualifier LAN that was here at ESL Studios. So far, yeah, a bit of a shame that it's 0-4, but you know what? Defense has often been a predominant side in Cafe, especially when this map first came into the map pool. We were seeing a lot of heavy defender-sided matches. I'm pretty sure we even saw a 6-6 draw that literally went 6 defense rounds, 6 defense rounds. So, Cloud9 maybe just need to weather the storm, get on defense. Maybe that's where their jam is. But so far, we've seen half the round gone. They've made a bit of progress here, but Nora's still looking relatively comfortable to move around on site and get this intel.
Minute 30 gone, and Cloud9 still not completely clearing out the third floor. Again, Nora-Rengo happy to sit up there, and Yoshingo can give so much information to these teammates as the second that they walk past. The C4 is ready as well. Papilia now known the position. But I'm not sure whether he's all that worried, if I'm being completely honest.
It's definitely exercising a lot of patience, and I think that's totally playing into the weakness of Cloud9 right now, is they're not pushing with a lot of confidence, so they're going to stall out.
Again, Yoshingo, just so much information coming through. Sure, Envy might be able to spot that through with the scanner if he looks as well, but here it comes, the rip, and unfortunately just not the exact timing they were hoping for. However, there is still one stuck up on top. Perfectly called. You can hear it from a mile away. Nicely done with the pulse there to give the information for the pre-ripped, the pre-set C4. And look at this, look at the time.
Yeah, and Rachel's just going for he's going for a run, man. He's going to the other side of the map. He's going to flank. He's going to find a pick on his flank. He's not going to really follow it up. That player is down. It is essentially a 4v3 with 15 seconds to go. Cloud9 pushing in towards Dining, but it's falling apart here. Envy Taylor's down. Hetty is down. It's all onto Sweet Black. 5 seconds left in this round, and Nora-Rengo close it out.
Well. Nora-Rengo are looking like that Titan that we know them to be, and I'm sure the international viewers know them to be as well. a force to be reckoned with. They are set and on their way to booking their ticket to the semi-final. They will, of course, face Aero. But we're not just there yet. You said that, it is quite defensive-sided, and we can see that possibility for 5, even 6 rounds come through for Cloud9. But the fashion in which Nora-Rengo have dominated these past 2 maps is eerie.
Yeah. And look, we talk about the defender-sidedness, the Thatcher ban and the Jackal ban really don't help you on attack. We're seeing Nora-Rengo able to freely rotate around, and it's difficult to get stuff done with those walls, and even just like clearing utility in general. So definitely, I think Cloud9 just need to weather the storm. There's been a heck of a storm to lose 5 rounds in a row.
Yep.
If they can get this one, yeah, maybe we can see a bit of an epic comeback come on.
Again, for those who weren't watching earlier, this is a very similar situation that we saw Fnatic in earlier, but they managed to bring it back 5-5. However, losing that map, still doable. I think realistically, for Cloud9, they have to secure this last round. I mean, you're going to say that every single time. They need to secure this round. They need that round. They need this round. But of all things, if you want to mount a comeback right at the end of the half, it is so crucial that you put back in.
You're not wrong, and also Nora-Rengo will be on match point if they secure this round. And that also means that Cloud9 can only take it to at least overtime if they win all of their defense rounds. So that's a lot of pressure, and I think we've seen here Cloud9 have really struggled with a bit of the pressure since that first map. So time to step up, guys. C9 is starting to push through here into this bakery attack. Early engagements here, so it's definitely being taken to Nora. No one losing HP from those engagements though, so no real changes. Oh, we do see a trade there. Yoshingo will get Nova, but the Claymore will catch him. So that is the Bandit taken out, and the IQ lost. So again, the IQ hopefully found some cams, but not a massive deal considering what's left for Cloud9.
An eye for an eye. Does leave everyone blind, per se. And they are going in blind for all electronical devices. In all intents and purposes now, Nora-Rengo, if they still have those cams up, if they've still got the Mozzie drones, it's going to be so much information, and you can see just already where these cams are being placed. It's perfect for Nora-Rengo at this point in time. Cloud9 toying with the idea of that second floor as Hetty starts to make his way in.
Nora really pretty much all on site. We saw Rachel's freely rotating around through the bakery there, but other than that, they are all on site. Again, I think this is just a really great read from them. They see that C9, they stalled pretty easily. They've really lost their confidence, and they got that aggressive pick from Yoshingo. It was traded out, but they haven't really pushed since then. And now there's only 1:20 to go. All the onus is on C9, and they haven't made much progress.
No, it feels here comes another just like the other 4. Cloud9, it's all been left down realistically to the last 30 seconds in most of these rounds if Nora haven't been able to shut them out previously. So if they don't start to get a move on, the time is going to play a huge factor, and we've already touched on how that does not bode well for Cloud9 at all.
That thermite bridge does open that hatch so they can drop into the freezer if that's where they wish to push. Papilia rotating around through the bakery. So again, Nora is still able to freely rotate around this side of the map. So this can really come back to bite C9. If they haven't got the right intel, we're seeing 2 C9 players there in the VIP. That's where a Valcam was, so that hasn't been spotted. There could be all the intel in favor of Nora here. This final 30 seconds, they're going to know exactly where they're coming from.
This is devastating for Cloud9 if they can't pull through with 1 round in the first half. It is defensive-sided, but how defensive-sided could it realistically be at this point for Cloud9? They're going to have to hope 100% so, because Rachel's been able to shut down Hetty. They try to make their way through, but it's a brick wall. It's Papilia to add one as well. It will be stuck right now. The diffuser has no other option. He will be trying to find at least something, an opportunity. Oh, it's Katsang who's held his watch, and in fact, it's been a push from Rachel. He finds the double kill right at the end, and Nora, they shout, they let go of all. That's almost a howl, I think, toward the end there. But that is 6 clean rounds on the defensive side.
Look, that's Rachel. 2 rounds in a row, he's clutched the 1vX on this bomb site. And that is Nora-Rengo with a perfect half, 6-0. And Cloud9, they need 6 rounds to stay in this game. Match point for Nora-Rengo. All they need is 1 round.
That was one of the stranger noises I've heard from a team in the ESL studios before, I'll tell you that much. The fact that he's able to find the kill there as well, incredibly crucial.
15 seconds.
And you know what? I've got to admit, Cloud9, for as much as I was saying, you know, they're running into a brick wall, they found a way to nearly make that work. I mean,
Yeah, they did.
that is huge from Rachel at the end for the 2K. A push up onto the diffuser, who had only recently just come off and reset the animation.
Yep, so C9, they're on defense half now. We talked about it being pretty much heavily favored in the defender side, so we will see how that turns out. C9 have opted not to bring a Maestro. In fact, they 6-picked off the Maestro for an Ella. It's a very not common thing, I would say, because Maestro is fantastic on this bomb side.
I was going to say, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, Maestro, the intel that he brings, for one, is so strong for this bomb site. It's a big issue that the attackers have to deal with. But also, we saw it with Papilia. You can utilize that Alda so good. There's so many long angles. And in those hectic moments, if you need to, you have all the bullets at your disposal. So the fact that they've gone for the Ella, I mean, that tells me that I think they want to play a little more aggressive. They're going to try and maybe take it to Nora-Rengo. But at the cost of a Maestro, I'm not so sure whether that was a good decision. Nora-Rengo, on the other hand, they've got some quite interesting operators as well. They've brought the Nomad and the Gridlock.
So, and the Nook, no
And
hard breach either? We're just...
They're just going for it.
They just, I'm actually concerned they're literally just going to send it.
Yeah.
Because this would be a way to close it out. This would be a devastating way for Cloud9 to fall out of yet another APAC Pro League without going past the first step, the first hurdle.
Yeah, I think if Nora do what we're talking about, but maybe just doing this full send, you know, I think that really summarizes how they've played these last two maps, and that's absolutely bullying.
Yep.
They have straight up just bullied Cloud9 so far, and yeah, it's really where C9 just need to take it back to them, and we haven't seen that yet. Mario is getting a lot of intel here with this drone on site, so Nora are going to know like how this is set up. They're aware of this Ella as well with this shotgun. I think that's key, because I feel like this play was meant to catch them a little off guard. You know, shotgun in your face all of a sudden. But I think that's the element of surprise is gone here.
Now, Evie Taylor's still sticking around in piano, so it seems. And again, Nora-Rengo have been diligent in finding out all the extra information that they need. So you can bet that, you know, Cloud9, most of these positions have already been secured, or just figuring out their point of attack.
Definitely feels like Nora are just being really careful with this. They haven't necessarily done a whole lot, but they've gathered a lot of intel. So it's what they utilize that for. I feel like they're just, like we said, like I feel like they are just going to full send, but they just want to make sure they pick the right point. They want to make sure they're doing it exactly where it's going to hurt.
I mean, if you're going to send it, you need to be making sure that you cross your T's and dot your I's, because the execute, there's nothing really for you to fall back on here. You're going to have to go for surefire aim. That's going to be Nook making the way through on toward the balcony, I believe. So now a little bit of access. The flashes come through to support as well. Rachel hasn't made the way through. Oh, that could have been a vital kill, but instead Nova manages to shut that down. They start to try and funnel on through. Papilia has to step up again here. Can't get it done. The shotgun for Nova absolutely destroying. It's Mario that tries to make some sort of movement, but nothing is being given to Nora-Rengo. Cloud9, what a statement.
Yeah, there's that Ella shotgun finding a frag, and you know what? That was so close with that Nook. That Nook was going to be the play. He just missed that pre-fire. All of a sudden, 1v5, favor of Cloud9. Marvy's just going to burn some time so they can have a chat. Again, they have the luxury of not just round time, but like the round difference in general in their favor. They can wait till Cloud9 gets to a weaker bomb site per se and really go for it there. So that's a round to C9. That's the first round they've won since Clubhouse, and it's the second round they've won since they won Bank. So that's a damning stat for C9, and they just need to keep it going here.
Yep. Feel like maybe, I don't want to say it, but I feel like Nora just played directly into their hands there. Left themselves little to no opportunity to actually put pressures on multiple different points. There were no hard breach, so they weren't opening up different angles for them to be worried about. But there is a big but in there. Nova with the shotgun that close to drop 2 players as they come through. I mean, if you're not able to secure that, all of a sudden, you've got so much control. Papilia's coming through on balcony as well. They've got full control of that side of the map. Things maybe go a little bit differently if that doesn't work in your favor. So
Totally.
maybe Cloud9 now just holding on for dear life and seeing where we end up. Reading and dining for round 2 of the second half. This time a somewhat little bit more sense from Nora.
It's a very different operator lineup, in fact. A bit more stock standard. Still not bringing a thermite though. Not necessarily critical on Cafe. There are only a few sites where there are walls that you definitely need to get open if you want a good secure chance, but they've still got the Maverick, and they can use Maverick tricking, making the 2 horizontal lines to destroy the reinforcement, and then using the buff of the Zofia to open that, or even the Ash. So they have options there. And with this bomb site in particular, you don't really need to open a whole lot of hard walls. So potentially well read by Nora. They're already on the Ash. Haven't really seen an Ash player go off yet. Maybe Virtue.
Yeah, maybe.
So C9, onus of time in this round at least is finally on Nora. They can be patient. Nora making some progress so far in towards Piano here. They definitely look like they want to take the top floor and clear across and push these roamers back down the side.
With this now, again, all the onus, I feel Cloud9 have so much of it. You're saying they've got so much room to move here for Nora. 5 rounds to work with. You can afford to throw in some cheeky strats, maybe some BM along the way, and still have room to breathe. Have another 3 rounds before anything becomes even remotely close in that sense.
Definitely need to be careful of not getting too complacent though. We've seen teams definitely be a bit too comfortable with being in front and allowed their opponents to get back in the game. Momentum is a big thing, and speaking of momentum, there isn't a whole lot of momentum with this attack so far. Half the round played out. C9 feeling pretty comfortable with their roamer downstairs. So Nora are going to have to start pushing. Actually, there's not a whole lot left for the roamers upstairs. There is 2 over on the cocktail, and all of Nora is on this top floor. Catstang will find Papilia. So that is the Nomad taken off. Nova will find one. Racial refrag. So 4v3 with a minute to go. C9, you know, hanging in there. They definitely could get this round.
Again, though, C9 finding a 2-for-1 virtually in that sense for Nova, who was able to hold on for a longer period of time, and Envy Taylor still looking to be a bit of a nuisance here as
he saw the feed.
Yeah, that should have been a confirmed kill, I felt, for Ash. There was a great opportunity, and I believe the rotate's free for Envy Taylor. It is. So again, Cloud9, they start off running, and this is all on the back of Marvi and Ray.
Yep.
They still have a lot to do here.
Starting to hear some energy from the C9 side as well. Haven't heard their voices for a while, so they're bringing themselves back into this game. Racial and Marvi. 2 versus 4. 30 seconds to go. This is match point. This will secure Nora-Rengo a spot in the semi-finals, the APAC finals here, to get a spot to Tokoname Japan Global Finals. They are going to side. They're sending it now. Marvi, he takes out Hetty. It's a 3v2. He's kind of aware of this person reading. He gets a nice flick onto Sweet Black. 2v1 all of a sudden. Marvi with a triple kill. Is he ending C9 single-handedly here? Racial is going for the plant. He pulls up though. He's going to try and stick it. Marvi can't find this last frag. Timer hits 0. Racial, the plant is going down. 1 second. Post-plant situation here. Envy Taylor is going to rotate around through reading. He's aware of their positions. They're all low HP. It's just going to take a single bullet.
Makes the way back through. This is so crucial for Envy here. He doesn't have a choice. He has to go for this. Oh, what a shot from Envy. Now brings it back. Oh, what a play from Envy Taylor. What a play to keep Cloud9 in this quarterfinal, and better yet, in the APAC Pro League finals.
That was a fantastic clutch from Envy Taylor. It was almost an absolute series-stopping performance from Marvi in that round, but Envy Taylor stepped up, all low HP, gets it done. C9, they live to fight another round.
But the problem is right now, that is what it's going to continue to be, is living to fight for one more round. And as incredible as that clutch was, as incredible as Marby's entries were, it does come down to one simple mistake if Cloud9 make it, and they're going home.
Yeah, they can't afford any round mistakes. And they're down to their third bomb site. And we talked about before, Nora, they can afford to drop a couple of rounds. They can wait out for C9 to take these quote-unquote weaker bomb sites. Kitchen is still a relatively strong bomb site. A lot of teams take this, as I said before, as their first bomb site or even their second. So C9 will be taking it here. They are bringing the castle. I touched on a strong castle strat for Bakery. It is potentially what MV Taylor will use his barricades for. We'll have to wait and see for this setup. Nora-Rengo bringing the Capital. We haven't really seen much of that play from either of these teams, in fact.
No, I think we saw it literally once. I believe we saw it once on Bank, and that's it. And Capital's gone through all 3 maps, so obviously a personal preference at that point. Maybe not really fitting in with the strats that they're trying to hold through.
10 seconds to insertion.
So
5 seconds left before insertion.
this is the do or die for Cloud9, and I can't stress this enough right now. The second they slip up, a lapse in concentration, and a whole season of Pro League down the drain.
And we talked about as well, Nora-Rengo, they need to be not too complacent. They've lost 2 rounds in a row now. C9 maybe feeling some momentum. MV Taylor for sure has got some adrenaline pumping through his veins, so they need to pull out all the stops. They just need to stop it as soon as possible.
Such a vital point in the season for both of these teams, and Nora-Rengo have definitely looked the better of the two. Ash at the moment just making way, opening up a very long line. Only rotates coming through from Cloud9. If they hold that line, we'll be caught. Surely have to be aware of that. At this point, that's exactly what we were talking about.
That is MV Taylor, the guy that clutched the last round. He's now taken off the board. This is some better progress, and I think Nora just sending it here. They've pushed onto site. Hetty finds one. There is one down as well for Nora-Rengo. It's Papilia. Buck is on site, though. He's got a strong position, and they could potentially get this plant secured. The diffuser is down. They're aware of their position, so you know what? They're all stuck on site now. This is it. They are on site. This is all about the retake.
The smoke babe coming out. Nova manages to shut down Papilia, but like you said, they're on site right now. The diffuser's down and out in the open, but the smoke's there to deny the access and the vision. Mario has to be aware that one might have rotated. Hetty's stepping up. Cloud9 aren't done just yet. Both players for Nora-Rengo, their backs are in a corner here. Sweet Black has their exit if they do try to cross. Shingo making a little bit of noise as he tries to find a different angle and can't find the kill. All of a sudden, oh no! Oh, it's missed. Sweet Black, how it went through, but look at the position from Nova. He's missed as well. Cloud9, small little mistakes, a misstep here or there, and Nora are so close to finishing this out. Again, everything lies on Nova. The 1 versus 2 for everything for Cloud9. Every angle being watched, and there you have it. Nora-Rengo have secured a semi-final spot coming up against Aerowolf later tomorrow, but that was very dominant.
What a performance from Nora-Rengo as well. It almost felt like Cloud9 were going to be able to weather the storm and come back into that. We saw a great clutch and an opportunity for a second one there. And had that actually been pulled off by Cloud9, I think we would have had a game on our hands, but that's for sure. But Nora-Rengo, they'll be maybe wiping a bit of sweat from their brow after that, because Tokoname, it was a calling, and they have managed to get one step closer to that. But certainly made to work for the win, even though they get a 7-1 and a 7-2 on the maps that they won.
Yeah, and I think after Bank, they definitely would have been sweating it, as you said. They're definitely going to appreciate that they got through those last 2 maps a bit stronger, and that comeback was on. That unfortunate missed shotgun shot at the end, that changed that round.
I mean, it does come down to literal milliseconds and pixels, inches, whatever you want to put on it, because, you know, that other player was low. In a 2v1, that definitely goes the way of Cloud9. So it's just maybe the pressure getting to them. Maybe it was just a big moment for Nora to step up. And I mean, look, we can ask the questions, but by golly gosh.
You say that, Rob, but I want to bring this up as well. Season 7, Season 8, Season 9, Season 10, Cloud9 have departed in the quarterfinals. That is not a favorable statistic. And for Cloud9, when does it stop? You know, how long can they continue only being able to make it to the quarterfinals and no further and still continue to do the same thing? You know, do they have to change things up? Do they have to make those roster changes? I know they brought Katsang in. That hasn't seemed to have made too much difference in the grand scheme of things. It still seems like the same Cloud9.
Yeah, I really think after watching those maps, you can see real key differences like how they're carrying themselves when there's some adversity. We saw them play so well on Bank. They really pulled it strong on Bank, but when things weren't going their way on the other maps, it just didn't go their way. And they didn't really seem to do a whole lot to really change their fate. And I think that's a big key issue for them that has been consistent through all of those quarterfinal losses.
Yeah, I mean, it's all well and good to take first seed in Korea and then come back to APAC finals, but if you can't get anything done, I mean, I asked you guys at the start of this broadcast, is it fair to call them still one of APAC's strongest teams? And there was a bit of arm and ahhing. I mean, we've seen that result now. Rob, do you want to touch on that a little bit?
I think that, you know, I was saying right before we started the third match that now questions have to be asked if they can't, you know, secure a semi-final spot. Look, they're up against Nora-Rengo. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but like you're saying, when we're looking at 4 or 5 seasons, you know, of constant quarterfinal dropouts, if you will, it is very disappointing. Obviously, Korea isn't the strongest region that we have, I would say, and I think that a lot of pressure does lie on Cloud9 for a lot of that, or Cloud9. You know, there's a lot that goes with that, but I think realistically there is a huge amount of pressure on them to perform, and the fact that we haven't seen it, you know, we haven't seen it for a long time. What, season 6? Season 6 was the last time. So, yeah, questions.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely
asking.
Well, let's move on from that. Obviously, we want to celebrate Nora-Rengo's victory here as well, and I think there certainly is a lot to celebrate as well. We came into today thinking for Nora-Rengo that, you know, this season might be the season where they can't really get it done. Cloud9 was looking okay. There was definitely a lot of hype around Cloud9. And Nora-Rengo, having the roster changes, having the season that they did, certainly some questions were arising. And, well, they've gone ahead and proven us wrong, at least in this quarterfinal. Moving on, though, into that semi-final against Aerowolf, I don't think the job is anywhere near done for Nora-Rengo. They have plenty more work to do. That's all tomorrow, of course. But for Nora-Rengo, I think the going only gets tougher the further they get through this bracket. Yeah,
I think they definitely shook off a bit of the pressure. I highlighted a bit about Marvi and his inclusion in the roster and how he'd performed up until this event. He performed pretty well today, I think that's fair to say. So I think a bit of that pressure is shaken off, but definitely the opponents ahead of them are no laughing matter. They're going to have to pull out all the stops to get it done.
Yeah, look, I just agree with that sentiment. I think, you know, the top side of the bracket was going to be tough. We saw it when it came out. We were a little bit worried because of what, you know, there are some huge names in that, right? Aero have just taken down Fnatic, and now they've got a chance to take down Nora. I'm not worried for Nora in any sense because they are very, like we were saying before, resilient. They're happy to come back from those kind of times, but you know, I think coming up against Aero is going to be a different game.
Yeah, I really wanted to pick your brains about Nora-Rengo now and how they're feeling probably going into this semi-final and maybe even the grand final with no Fnatic there. You know, that big boogeyman that we have seen that matchup panning out, but unfortunately we are out of time. Maybe Danny Kim can give us some answers. He's on the stage ready for an interview.
Thank you very much, Jordan. I'm here with Shingo and our lovely translator, Jess here. Now, first of all, I have to ask you, that first map was a little bit concerning, and then you eased through to the semi-finals in the second two. Is that just a bit of a lesser, you know, sense of the map of Bank, or did you just build some confidence there?
最初の1と2マップのどれ違いがありますか？どういう感じでマップの入ってきましたか？
その僕らはすごいそのスロースターターだったので、その最初の1マップ目だとやっぱりその本調子じゃないというところがあって、取りきれなかったのかなっていうところです。
So the first thing about the first map is that obviously we weren't really trying our best. We weren't pulling out all the stops on the first map, so I think that's why we couldn't really take it.
So now you may have been preparing for Fnatic. They are your APAC brothers in arm, but now you're facing off against Aero Wolf. Does this change things? Does this change the process at all for you?
最初の、次の戦いはもちろんフナティックではなくエロウルフとなるんですけれども、それはどういう気分ですか？
そうですね、いつも APAC ブラザーズとしていたフナティックが来れないっていうのはとても悲しいんですけど、何ですかね、エアロウルフは昔からあるチームで何度か対戦したことがあるので、多分勝ちます。
So it's upsetting that obviously we're not going up against our brothers from Fnatic as we have before in the past. But Aerowolf we have seen quite a few times in previous matches and have fought against them before. And I definitely think we can win.
Absolutely. And finally, it's time for some real talk, Shingo. I know you have no idea what I'm saying, but some people are saying that the Nora-Rengo brand isn't as strong as it was in past seasons. What do you have to say about that?
その前よりノラ連合の皆さんが強くないという噂があるんですけれども、それはどう思いますか？
そうですね、それは僕たちの力不足によるものなので、これからどんどん練習してもっと強くなろうと思います。
So that all comes from probably just our lack of strength in general. So we're hoping to in future keep pushing onwards, keep strengthening ourselves and keep practicing together and hopefully just get better in future.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much for your time and congratulations on making it to the semi-final. Jess, always a pleasure. It's back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Danny. Yeah, certainly seems like a good way to look at things there for Nora-Rengo. You know, they're always looking forward. They're always looking to push the issue. They're not necessarily worrying about what has gone on in the past during the season. And I want to touch on what's going to happen going forward here for Nora-Rengo as well. I did sort of float the idea before we went down to the desk there, but no Fnatic now for Nora-Rengo. That's the team that they've met in the grand final 3 seasons running. You know, I feel like that might be a weight off the shoulders here for Nora-Rengo going into potentially this season finals.
Yeah, it's a bit of difference for them. They probably, no doubt, would have been preparing for a bit of a Fnatic semi-final showdown again, but this time it's not going to be. So they're going to have to really hit the books and prepare for Aero, and they are not an easy opponent. We saw them with that, as you said, quote-unquote upset against Fnatic, but they played fantastic against Fnatic. So it's not going to be easy. And here we talk about the top side of the bracket in general. It's actually the two seed teams or second seed teams that have made it through to the semis.
Yeah, crazy to think about that as well. I'm glad you point that out. So I wonder if that is going to continue down in the bottom side of the bracket. Now, if I had to make a prediction, I feel as though one of these matches down on the bottom side of the bracket there, that it's unlikely to be the lower tier team, the seed 2 team coming through, is this next one between Cyclops and Trippy. They are more of an unknown quantity, Trippy in particular. How do you see that one panning out, Rob? Certainly going to be a tough one, I think, for the second seed from Korea.
Yeah, I mean, we look at Cloud9 and what they're able to achieve, and they're the best team in Korea. They're also, I believe they went 12-0 throughout the entire season. So that kind of gives you an indication as to where the Korean scene's at. And I realistically, from what we've seen from CAG, you know, they have been, over the past 6 months, we've seen them really shine through, and I feel like Trippy are not up to that challenge. And I need to state that out boldly.
All right, Raven, quickly, your thoughts on that as well?
I have to agree. For this entire Japanese Pro League season, Nora's actually kind of lived in the shadow of Cyclops Gaming. And here they are against Trippy, who has been playing in the shadow of C9, so to speak, but not closely in the shadow, quite distantly. C9 very strong in Korea, and Trippy is the second seed coming out, so very kind of lopsided.
Definitely going to be a tough one, I think, for Trippy. But for Nora-Rengo, they are a team that always tends to rise to the occasion, which they've done exactly that today. Time for us to take a quick break. Cyclops Athlete Gaming and Trippy, our third match for today, will be up after this.